Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time for Joseph. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics, randomness, out of the blueness, re-reviews, commentaries, reactions, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, this is a film called Red Notice with Dwayne Johnson, with Gadot from Wonder Woman films, and Ryan Reynolds. It's from the same guy who directed Central Intelligence, which I liked. Dodgeball, didn't mind. He also did Skyscraper. And I didn't hate the film, but I didn't love the film. It's very generic. It's very routine. It's mediocre. It's a mediocre time waster. You don't watch it, forget about it in a week or less. And it got very, very popular on Netflix. I guess because there's nothing else to watch. I'm assuming. Gonna sue? Yeah, I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna sue on behalf of The Rundown, because this film fucking rips off The Rundown. That's how I looked at it. Yeah, I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna sue your ass for fraudulent. Okay. What do I mean by that? The Rundown was a very underrated, to me, my favorite Dwayne Johnson film. He was getting into movies. He had done The Scorpion King, a few others. But The Rundown seemed like his big chance at getting a big box office hit after The Scorpion King. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger made a cameo, sort of passed the torch. And The Rundown, directed by Peter Berg. He's chasing a guy, played by Sean William Scott, who's looking for this treasure. He ends up helping this village under attack by bad guys led by Christopher Walken. Very fun movie, very entertaining movie. And this film is about a guy who's got to track down a funny guy. Instead of Sean William Scott, it's Ryan Reynolds, who's looking for a treasure. Or in this case, it's a bejeweled egg, because there were 3 of them for Cleopatra back to the day. 2 of them been found. The 3rd one, no one knows where it's at. So it's Ryan Reynolds is trying to get the others. Then you come to find out there's a other person that played Gadot, who's the bishop, like the best art thief in the world, frames Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson and Ryan Reynolds have to work together to stop Gadot. But then there's other twists and turns and blah blah blah. But I'm like, I want to rewatch The Rundown. The banter between The Rock and Ryan Reynolds felt like I was watching they said, kind of a generic takeoff of The Rundown. Plus the adventure, the treasure bits. The action is meh at best, some worse than others. I don't know how the fuck they spent $200 million. Blade Runner 2049 was cheaper. That was $150 million. This is $200 million. Man, these actors must have been paid a shitload of money. Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, Gadot, they must have been paid what? Were they paid what, $40 million apiece? How much were they paid? There's no other reason this cost $200 million. There has to be some kind of fucking typo. Please tell me there's some kind of typo and I'm just wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. It has to be. There's no way this costs that. If you told me this costs $100 million, I'd be like, no. No. Ridiculous. So again, Dwayne Johnson's FBI. Dwayne Johnson gets roles, man. I mean, it seemed like the films, like The Rundown, it was cool to see him in because it was different from The Scorpion King. He had more to do. It was fun. It was humorous. Badass. But then, Doom 2005, I enjoyed that because various reasons, including The Rock being a bad guy. I like seeing Dwayne Johnson be the bad guy. That was cool. It was different. A soldier that went crazy. Try to be a little bit of Sergeant Andrew Scott from Universal Soldier, except without the ears. Again, it was different. Central Intelligence. A guy who in school he was made fun of. He was the joke. He went away. Years later he comes back. Changed man. But he still has that mentality from before. Didn't. Created a different type of persona and personality performance from Dwayne Johnson. Same with Kevin Hart. He wasn't just a typical annoying. There are little annoyances. But there's also the part of him as a character who peaked in high school. And had some genuine moments. I think it's actually one of Kevin Hart's better roles. Again, I enjoy Central Intelligence for that reason. But with Dwayne Johnson, Jungle Cruise and Skyscraper, which the same director did that. Dodgeball, Skyscraper, Central Intelligence. Skyscraper is terrible. The San Andreas, hated that movie. Rampage, wasn't really big on that either. Dwayne Johnson has charisma. That's the thing. He does have charisma. I would put him above, I don't know, other action stars today. Like Mark Wahlberg or other people of that nature. He still has charisma. But it's just, this is a paycheck movie. Ryan Reynolds, you seen Deadpool? Imagine that pretty much PG-13. Kind of what he's done. He references movies. He references Jurassic Park at one point. He references Pulp Fiction at one point. He references the movie Cats at one point. And the type of jokes he would do is kind of like what he would do in Deadpool. I like Ryan Reynolds. Dwayne Johnson, I've liked stuff he's in. But it's like, now it's getting to a point that you guys need to do some bit more variety. What about Steven Seagal? His role in Out for Justice was something different. And he had a series of films, 4 or 5 films that were entertaining and fun, and they dwindled. But Sylvester Stallone, Copland, Freddie Heflin is way different from Rocky Balboa, and those 2 are really different from John Rambo, and those 3 are very different from John Spartan Demolition Man. You watch those 4 movies, those are 4 different performances. Despite people want to make fun of Stallone. I've talked shit about him in recent years because I know he can do better. Because I look back to the day, John Spartan, Freddie Heflin, John Rambo, Rocky Balboa, 4 different characters, unique to each one. You watch each of their performances, yes, that's a different type of person. So, but Stallone doesn't get credit for that. It just felt like it was by the numbers and acting. With Dwayne Johnson and Ryan Reynolds, the way they interact, there were moments of smirk. I could smirk. And, it was easier to watch than a lot of other films this year, like Space Jam 2, or Halloween Kills, or Welcome to Raccoon City. That's what I mean, like, it didn't get me mad, it's just, it's very formulaic, mediocre, and by the numbers. Ryan Reynolds steals the egg. Dwayne Johnson goes after him. They try to do action scenes like Ryan Reynolds fighting guards on a scaffold. At times it's edited a bit too quickly. Find Ryan Reynolds later. He gets caught. Lines he'll say is, "You escaped 6 times? Yes, I did. One more, I get the Shawshank jacket. Shawshank Redemption, Shawshank jacket. I'm going to bring you to the worst place ever. Your Instagram account?" Like, this is the dialogue that Ryan Reynolds is saying. Then Gal Gadot steals it from them. And then Dwayne Johnson gets arrested and framed being set up. Then they gotta work together. They have to figure out what to do next. They get in prison. They're in prison at the same time. Again, conversations, Ryan Reynolds talking about another guy who has an egg. Because then there's 3 of them. One's missing. One's been stolen by Gal Gadot. Where's the second egg? Oh, this criminal guy has it. Oh, he has these parties. He does the eyes wide shut thing to take the edge off. But he has a lot of references to movies. Daniel Bernhardt shows up. Tattoos. He punched and kicks The Rock. And you think something else will come of that? Like, we'll see Daniel Bernhardt again? No. You think it'd be like a rematch later? Or Daniel Bernhardt, like The Rock's going to kick the shit out of him? Or something? No, he, like, never shows up again. Okay. And it's not even a fight. It's just Daniel Bernhardt punches and kicks Dwayne Johnson. He falls to the ground. That's it. It's not even a fight between Dwayne Johnson and Daniel Bernhardt. So I'm like, it's a waste of Daniel Bernhardt. I mean, and he's been making, he was in the Matrix sequels. He was in John Wick. He was in, I think he was a stunt guy in Deadpool 2. He was in, there was another movie he was in recently. I can't remember. There was another film. I'm like, oh, wow, he popped up in that too. Ryan Reynolds knows where's the third aid. Dwayne Johnson tries to gain his trust. There's bits where Ryan Reynolds tells a bit of a story about his dad. The Dwayne Johnson face doors, and Ryan's like, really? They steal from a... I mean, I'm having a hard time talking about it because it just... It's a checklist. Have an action scene here. The action scene, meh. Either cut a bit too quickly or CGI. Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne Johnson still have a bit of charisma. I like them. I just don't care for a lot of their recent choices. Ryan Reynolds, I like Deadpool. Love Deadpool 2. I actually like Green Lantern. I know I'm alone in that. Dwayne Johnson, I like Central Intelligence. That might have been the last film he did I enjoyed. I truly enjoyed. But it's just... Hobbs and Shaw, I didn't hate it like other people, but it was kind of like this, like mediocre. And I'd probably put Hobbs and Shaw above that. And sadly, that wasn't a great movie. It was, but it should have been better, way better. That's the issue. It should have been way better. You get Jason Statham, Dwayne Johnson finally starring the movie. It should not be, meh. That's a fuck up. And here... Again, the jokes, like Ryan Reynolds talking with Dwayne Johnson about this technology and the deepfake technology where you make look like someone else. And he says, if I do this the right way, I could send a video to your mom of you mouth-sexing a goat. See, that's like Deadpool but PG-13. If it was rated R, he'd be mouth-fucking the goat. Here is mouth-sexing a goat. I mean, that's the dialogue. I mean, if you're tired of Ryan Reynolds, if you're tired of Dwayne Johnson, you're probably going to hate the movie. I'm not going to defend the film. It just, I sat there. You know those movies that you're on the screen, or it's on the screen, and you're doing stuff, and you kind of keep looking over. You're not really missing anything, but at the same time, you're like, That's the reaction I get out of this. $200 million to get that reaction. But it was a fucking hit. And there's talks of a sequel. Which I'm like, we can't get a Bright 2 with Will Smith. But there might be a sequel to this. Hell, I liked Six Underground. I know people didn't. I liked that movie. I'd rather see a sequel to that movie than this movie. Because that one, at least the action scenes, in my opinion, at least. I know I have a friend who didn't like it. That's cool. But I thought the action scenes were a lot of fun. I thought it was very fast-paced. And Ryan Reynolds, at least he had the R-rated... He didn't have to neuter himself. And again, it just, like, the banter they have, I saw Dwayne Johnson do that better with Sean William Scott in The Rundown. And The Rundown had more striking action scenes, like Ernie Reyes Jr. and them beating up the Rock, and the way Peter Bird filmed it, even the first, not the first, but there's a bar fight, and the way the slow motion and the whip going, and the Dwayne Johnson getting away from the bad guy's whip. He like throws a table, and the bad guy whips the table in half. Like well filmed fight scenes. And the finale where Dwayne Johnson getting the guns, and it's like, you know, two guns at one, you know, the way he cocks it, all the different ways, and like Peter Bird had some really good style in the action, unlike this. And like Central Intelligence, I liked it, but not for the action. This director is really the guy to handle action. I mean, it should have been someone else directing this. And the script, again, it's take elements of Romancing the Stone, or again, The Rundown, or any number of these type of movies. There's a point they go to a party, Dwayne Johnson sees Gal Gadot, they pretty much do the tango as if it was True Lies. The two fight Gal Gadot beats both. That she's Wonder Woman! She's not Linda Carr, so she's not my Wonder Woman. So, try to get info on where the third aid is. You think Ryan talked. Later on you find out he lied. They escape. They go up. And when they pop up, it's in the middle of a fucking bullfighting ring. And Dwayne Johnson gets hit by a bull. And he just flies off. I went, oh my god. And Ryan Reynolds is going on about Jurassic Park. Because he's like, don't move. I saw a documentary. No, you saw Jurassic Park. No. Wait, was Jeff Goldblum in that? Oh, I was. It was Jurassic Park I saw. This shit is lame. I know this should be a rant, and it kind of is a rant, but I just don't have the energy to get mad at it. It's just one of those... Some decent looking locations, some decent looking slickness in terms of the set design of the museums, and is that where the $200 million went to? But the CGI didn't even look that good for that type of budget. You cost more than Blade Runner 2049. What the fuck is going on here? Why? How? And Dwayne Johnson, what is your fucking fascination with jungles? Because the third act is in a jungle, and then they find a bunker underneath. But The Rundown, you're in the jungle. Its nickname overseas was Welcome to the Jungle. Jumanji 2, Welcome to the Jungle. Jumanji 3, you're back in the jungle. Jungle Cruise. In this, you're in the jungle. What's your fascination? Do you want to live in the jungle, Dwayne Johnson? Is that what it is? How many fucking movies do you have to do where there's a point where you're in the fucking jungle? Surprised he's not doing a remake of Predator in the jungle. Maybe that'll be after this shitty new one that's coming out. That'll be a remake with The Rock. It says be in the jungle again. And dialogue, is that your father's watch? No, it's the watch from Pulp Fiction. What are we looking for? Look for a box that says MacGuffin. So Gal Gadot is there. They find the third aid. Interpol's there. There's a car chase through CGI mines. They remind me of the shit in Fast Furious 7. People are you sure this isn't a rant? I don't know. I don't know anymore, man. Maybe the more I think about it, I'm getting mad. Because I'm like, The Rundown is so much better than this fucking movie. If you want to see Ryan Reynolds do his typical thing, which he's done that better in other stuff, Dwayne Johnson, get a paycheck, Gal Gadot, she's not in it as much as I thought it was, which maybe that's a good thing. I did the CGI mine car chase. It reminded me of Fast and Furious 7 or something. No, not 7. 4. It was in 4. Never mind. Sorry. 7. Fast and Furious 4 that happened at the end with the underground. See, my mind's already leaving. Fast and Furious 4 that happened. Spoiler alert, you find out that The Rock and Gadot were working together the whole time. Oh, shit. Holy shitola, Batman. Because it was the long con. I don't know why he first arrived at FBI and people just believed him. But I guess they did. He had the right fake credentials. And, yeah, they did that to get Ryan Reynolds to trust him. They handcuff Ryan Reynolds. They get all 3 aides. They give them to this guy. They get the money. But then Ryan Reynolds got out and called the cops and their assets got freezed. So no one gets the money. So it seems like this is all a waste of fucking time because no one even gets the fucking money. Instead, Ryan Reynolds says, hey, you two, I got a job. And the 3 of us. And then some piece of dialogue they reference like Vin Diesel's, like Ryan Reynolds says, Vin Diesel's audition for Cats? I got one. I got that tape, I swear. I'm like, what, did Vin Diesel audition for Cats? Am I missing, or is that thrown in there because Ryan Reynolds knows that Dwayne Johnson hates Vin Diesel? So let's throw a Vin Diesel joke. And they go off, they don't, maybe rob the Louvre. For, I don't know, for the sequel? It's a lame movie. Again, I don't think I'm going to put rant in the title, because when rant is like me, I'm not doing that, so I think people be like, well, that's not really, it's just more of a, just a lazy in terms of writing. Jokes are pretty lame. And when you're out the other type of flick. Now I'm watching it. It's passing the time. It's over. I've seen way worse movies this year. But Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, I've seen you guys do better. And again, Dwayne, this did not make me bad like Jungle Cruise, and Ryan, I like Six Underground. I like Deadpool 1 and 2, but fuck, man. You could tell this shit with Ryan Reynolds is getting old, if that's the case. Or, yeah, again, you need better writers. This just seems... Go watch National Treasure 2. Go watch The Rundown. National Treasure 1 and 2 to me is a way better adventure film, because it's like, oh, the clues, and where are the clues at, and how do they get this, and how does that relate to that, and yes, it's fantasy, but for me it's kind of fun fantasy. Create this fake backstory of America, and all the clues are over here. I get a kick out of that. This movie doesn't have any. It tries the teeny bit, but it's just not nearly as fun. And then The Rundown, again, that's a much more satisfying action comedy. Because the humor is funnier and the action is better directed and tighter paced. So Red Notice, maybe get the red ass, I don't know. And yeah, by the time I end this fucking review, I'm going to forget the movie. So take that for what you will. And if you're a diehard Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds fan, you've probably already seen it. But if you haven't, you're not missing a whole lot. So, see you guys later. Bye-bye. Shit. Can people in Hollywood do better? I know I was going to end the video, but I just sit here and I go, you know... it's not a prequel, it's not a remake, it's not based on a comic book. It's an original film, But it's like, goddamn, man, that doesn't automatically get you a pass. You gotta try a little bit in terms of creativity or wit, or the guy who knows how to handle action scenes with pizzazz or style or just balls to the wall entertainment. This really has none of that. And there you go. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.